Good evening, everyone. I'm Lissy Bastien. It's Thursday, November 19th. Thanks for staying with us. Health and tourism officials launched a daily online health screening survey that is mandatory for every citizen, resident, and visitor traveling into the Bahamas. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, during his communication in the House of Assembly yesterday, noted that most of the world, including popular tourist destinations, have put in place extensive protocols for tourists and returning citizens and residents who have traveled overseas, and says the Bahamas is no different, adding that we are following various international protocols and adjusting to them as necessary.
Citizens, residents, and visitors who do not complete the survey will be fined $100 per day or 1 week imprisonment. The health survey will enable the further monitoring of and response to any possible instances of COVID-19.
Dr. Minnis says that health screening is provided through the travel.gov.bs website in an effort to prevent the increase of COVID-19.
The health screening survey, or as we call the risk analysis, is an important part of preventing the spread of COVID-19 and ensuring that the Bahamas is safe for all to enjoy. Participation in this survey is mandatory. Those who fail to comply will be subject to penalties. I want to repeat again, those, especially for the Ministry of Tourism, as most of our visitors leave our shores within 5 days, they are only required to complete the risk analysis during their stay, which is 4 or 5 days respectively.
As the country is set to receive an increase in international visitors next month, Dr. Minnis reiterated that everyone traveling into the Bahamas from the U.S. or any other destination must have a valid negative COVID-19 RT-PCR test. He says the Ministry of Health will be studying the health survey results with significant tests and evaluate the health protocols. In our national COVID-19 news, 25 additional cases of the virus reported by the Ministry of Health, 10 cases on Grand Bahama, 9 cases on New Providence, 3 on Abaco, 2 on the Berry Islands, and 1 case on Exuma, bringing the total in-country to 7,348. Health officials reporting the 25 new cases after 279 tests were completed on Wednesday, 247 returning negative results. 7 of those tests were repeat tests. The country now has 1,616 active cases after 33 people recovered yesterday. Recoveries now total at 5,516. As for hospitalized cases, the ministry's report indicating that 24 people are hospitalized, 21 moderately ill, and 3 in the intensive care unit. The death toll stands at 163. The government intends to extend the public state of emergency and emergency orders beyond the Christmas holiday season. This much coming from Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis last evening in the House of Assembly. He says he'll move a resolution for the extension when the House meets next week. Here he is reading amendments to the resolution.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House approve the continuation of second proclamation made on the 29th day of June 2020 until the 28th day of December 2020. B, affirms the continuance in effect of emergency powers COVID-19 pandemic regulations 2020 made on the 29th day of June 2020 until the 28th day of December 2020. C, affirms the continuance in effect of emergency powers COVID-19 pandemic special provisions order 2020 made on the 30th day of June 2020 until the 28th day of December 2020. D, affirms the continuance in effect of emergency powers COVID-19 pandemic extension of Section 17.1 of Local Government Act Chapter 37, Order 2020 made on the 31st day of August 2020 until the 28th day of December 2020, and affirms the continuance in effect of emergency powers COVID-19 pandemic number 12, Order 2020 made on the 12th day of November 2020 until the 28th day of December 2020.
Now the existing orders will come to an end on November 30th. Last month, there were 14 votes in favor of the resolution to extend the emergency orders to November 30th. 0 voted against it, despite members of the opposition publicly opposing. 0 abstained, and 24 were absent. With many persons still struggling 8 months into the COVID-19 pandemic, according to Minister of Social Services and Urban Development Frankie Campbell, some 1,000 persons will receive rental assistance this month. He made these comments on the sidelines of the International Men's Day mural unveiling ceremony at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium.
Know that men are willing to step forward and to help mentor, to help build men, mindful of some of the negativity that is attached to our men. And I dare say, I believe it's in the minority. However, it gets a whole lot more attention sometimes than the positive. And so this is an opportunity to celebrate the positivity of our men, to celebrate the unsung heroes who on a daily basis give advice, support to some young man in their local communities. And this advice, whether you believe it or not, goes a long way.
Now, Minister Campbell notes that the rental assistance is available to all citizens throughout the entire Bahamas. The minister notes that the Department of Social Services has seen an increase in assistance, adding that things are slowly starting to level out. You're watching JCN News. When we return, $17 million in drones rolled out, an update on the Nassau Cruise Port and its International Men's Day. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.